Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing all right. Welcome to the Football is Live once more with your host, myself, Mr. Lilo. I hope you're doing all right, everybody. We will just stop the music right there. There we go. If it decides to stop, that is the beauty about being live. Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing all right. We've got a couple of comments in the chat there saying, John, I think it's just a matter of time when Lopetegui goes. Yeah, that's judging by the video title. And then sports panel debate says, I don't think they should sack him. Um, I don't think they should sack him. He's not being given the time as well. Yeah, you could say that about a lot of managers. I think we should address the elephant in the room because we're going to start with Julen Lopetegui. Now, obviously, when he was at Wolves, I thought the Wolves appointment was ambitious when Wolves had him at first initially, because obviously he's got a decent CV. Obviously was given the Spain job and then left under a very dark cloud, didn't he? Didn't even see the tournament through, and of course, he could have been part of a winning side with Spain, but obviously came to West Ham after the whole David Moyes situation. Where West Ham fans wanted a better brand of football. They weren't very happy, despite even though David Moyes delivering them the Europa Conference League, which yes is a Tier 3 cup competition, but it's still a trophy at the end of the day. It still goes down as a major trophy, whatever you think of it. And no doubt about it, Newcastle fans, myself, and the rest of the Toon Army would have milked it as well. Of course, would have had a trophy in my hands. You know what I mean? So, yeah, if you do want to come up, that is always available. The pinned chat, if you do want to chat, if you're just happy to watch, that is also fine. We're going to jump into the share screen facility in just a second, but we are also partnered up to via NordVPN, easy for me to say, which I will be switching on as I'm staying down Milton Keynes tonight for 2 nights because I'm heading down to the Arsenal game tonight. So I will be having my NordVPN turned on just to protect us because I'm using the Wi-Fi there at the hotel, and I'm also got work tomorrow as well, so it's paramount that I use it. So if you do want to get a proper cheap deal this new year, have a look at NordVPN. I think it's only like £2 30 or something. It works out as or something like that. It's proper cheap with the link in the description, but take a look at it. So thank you very much for NordVPN. But let's get cracking with some of the stories this morning across the BBC Sport website, and obviously we are going to go back to Lopetegui as well. But obviously Alexander Isak, there is a profile on him of how he's just blossomed, and look at this is a great stat from the BBC, starting with Isak. His goals against appearances so far for Newcastle, and obviously he's beaten what he did at Real Sociedad. Look at that, he's already scored 49 for Newcastle, 42 for Sociedad, but in a hell of a lot less games as well. So he's absolutely flying at the moment, and obviously he's been heavily linked, which does my head in, ironically, against Arsenal, which of course I'll be over on Newcastle Fans TV doing videos with Sam later on today. And this is obviously the total point: is will West Ham are they weighing up to sack Lopetegui? Now there is some speculation going around that this section here, which is West Ham's technical director Tim Steidsten, has been pictured talking to former Chelsea and Brighton boss Graham Potter, who was previously linked with the Hammers job. Obviously, the photo has been circulating on social media, but sources said it is a recent picture, but it's not been independently verified as well. So there's some speculation that Potter, but obviously goes down to say in this article on Graham Potter that well, go and read it. It's on the BBC website that Lopetegui is obviously he's in see, the thing is as well with West Ham as well, when they came to St James's Park, though, that we were like, what's happening in Newcastle? But you've also got to give credit to West Ham, because when they came to St James's Park, the beat were, which is mental considering the run that us lot are on. And you thought, right, they've turned a corner, they're going to kick on, and and now the whole situation, the unfortunate incident with Mikel Antonio hasn't helped, because he obviously with strikers, and West Ham always seem to be looking for a striker, creativity, someone who can bag them goals as well. But the brand of football, they're not very happy with it, and it's one of them, is it? It would, if I was to say you win 1-0 ugly, but you get beat 4-3 entertaining. Obviously, you won't get beat 4-3 every game, but you know where I'm going. If you score lots of goals and concede, similar to Spurs, would you be more happier than grinding out a 1-0 win? I don't know. Not the long run, perhaps. Short term, I think it'll be fun, but really, you want to obviously lift trophies, which I do find. I mean, West Ham fans, tell me if I'm wrong, but you've got a trophy, and it's like, fuck me, I would love a trophy. I would love a trophy at Newcastle. We're all dying for that to happen, and it's like, I don't know what is the brand of football. Again, I don't watch West Ham through and through, but is the brand of football that bad? That really that bad that you're going to possibly change them for Graham Potter? I don't know. It's a strange one because I always think with West Ham that they're the South version of us. When we had Mike Ashley, not so much now, but when we had Ashley, they would obviously be up against their owners, same as us. There'll be protests. There'll be a lot of off the field issues, similar to us before our takeover as well. And it just doesn't seem that that's gone away. And I want to touch upon last night's performance by Nottingham Forest winning 3-0, which is incredible, man. And that's against the Wolves side, but they are absolutely flying. And obviously, he's absolutely delighted. You know what I mean? Nuno Santo. And I think they play Liverpool next week. And of course, Forest beat them earlier in Anfield, if you remember as well. If you look at all the comments, yeah, it would be refreshing to have someone to cheer on the besides the usual three. Go on, Forest. And begs the question, why did Nuno fail so abysmally at Spurs? All fingers point the owners and playing staff in brackets again. Because it's Spurs. Goodness, there's an article not about Man United or Alexander Arnold, and they must have got a coup at the BBC. But yeah, this Cloughie is a legend, but don't forget his number two, Peter Taylor. Obviously, there's a lot of comments, loads about that win last night on the BBC's sport website, and unbelievable. If we just take a look at the currently the table, Forest are third, beg your pardon, but joint second. Newcastle, obviously, I'm a Platoon fan, of course, is now that being fifth, but Forest are absolutely punching above their weight. I mean, we've beat Forest twice this season. We put them at the cup and we beat them at the City Ground as well. But apart from that, I mean, they've had a fantastic season. And Forest play Liverpool, don't they? So, so look at that. Obviously, they've got the FA Cup this weekend, but after that, Forest 8 o'clock kick-off. That'll be a good game, won't it? That'll be a really good game. So they are absolutely flying currently in the minute. Incredible, man. Absolutely unbelievable. There's a good article here as well about Englishmen working abroad as well, especially Stephen Constantine, who's been an international manager. There he is pictured for over 25 years, which is absolutely incredible. So there's a good little article on a read on that as well. We'll have a look at also some of today's gossip as well. Of course, so obviously with the paper talk, I'll just come back to the main screen here. Especially with the paper talk, you've got to take it with a pinch of salt, haven't you? Let's be honest, because a lot of these, obviously, well, take it with a pinch of salt. So if we go back to this morning, Bayern are ready to bid to Nick Gorkarez. Obviously, we talked about it on this channel a few days ago about Man United being heavily linked to him as well. That was on the start. The Daily Express, Bayern's £80 million bid to Nick Vick. So there's another one running that story. Daily Mail, Potter in talks with West Ham. Touched upon that already. Obviously, Forest's great win with the likes of Chris Wood scoring, Morgan Gibbs-White against his former side. And I think Omaweru, what's his name? I can never pronounce. He scored at the end. Tell the truth, Ange. FA demand angry boss explains what he meant in bizarre TV interview rant with the Mirror. Well, we'll know what he meant because obviously I was at that game. He felt like the decisions didn't go all of Spurs' way, but we had decisions like Anthony Gordon had a nosebleed inside the box. Guess it might have been a clash, but you never know. He could have been given us a penalty. Lead Sport, the Telegraph, Potter in talks of West Ham. Again, a picture of Mo Gibbs-White giving it the shush treatment in his ears. And the leading Sport, The Guardian, as well. More on Lopetegui. It's everywhere at the minute. But let's take a look around some of the gossip columns this morning. So PSG and Barcelona are eyeing John Duran. Was sent off against us, wasn't he? But what a player he's been. What a player. What a find, I have to say as well. Young talent, scores goals. And obviously, Man United are up against Bayern Munich to sign Victor Gyökeres. And Juventus want to swap Vlahovic for Man United's Joshua Zirkzee. I wonder if Man United fans would be against that. PSG are interested in signing John Duran as well. And sporting director Deco has already met with Duran's. That's another one about John Duran. Well, how Barcelona can't even get Dani Almo over the line, so I don't know much about how much truth is in that. I'm going to say it's not, there's no in it. Real Madrid objected the chance to sign Virgil van Dijk, who will be a free agent when his Liverpool contract expires. That's according to Ravello in Spain. I don't know about that. And the Saudi Pro League is hopeful of getting Brazilian midfielder Casemiro, who's been absolutely shocking since he's joined Man United. I think Man United fans will be all for that as well. And obviously, another one, Koulibaly's on loan potentially for a couple of clubs, Man United and Spurs. Rashford also wanted by Milan but it'll depend on Man United how much they're going to pay help towards his wages. And again, more on Xerxes, more on Vlahovic. Brazilian midfielder Douglas Luiz is a target for 2 Premier League clubs, and he's open to the move. Obviously, he's only just recently joined Juventus with his girlfriend as well. And there's a lot more on there. Joe Bellingham, Palace are interested in Sunderland's midfielder, and Nicholas Fulkrug is also a target for Juventus. And there's also a couple of other news that are on there. Obviously, Cunha will be considering his options before deciding to sign a new contract with Spurs, of course. With that situation with Cunha, he's a fantastic player, but for me, it all depends on which division that Wolves find themselves in. I think he's probably going to hang on towards the end of the season for 2 reasons. One, he'll probably want to go to a bigger club, and 2, Wolves not be able to afford more wages if they're in the Championship. So I think it probably makes sense for the both of them to hang on to see which division that they're in come the end of the season. But we'll go back. I want to touch upon a little story that I seen on TNS, which is obviously I'll find it in here somewhere. Real Madrid against Deportivo Minera in the Copa del Rey last 32. Goals by Valverde, Camavinga. Gula's got a couple there, and Modric. If you take a look at the lineups, obviously Real Madrid over on this right hand side went fairly strong considering them up against lower opposition. So they've won that in the Spanish Copa del Rey, and Chelsea's obviously extended Norway's Guru Wright and the top scorer in the WSL. They've extended her contract as well, and Arsenal's Ethan Nwaneri's out for a few weeks of injury. He'll not play against Newcastle, and never will Saka. Obviously, Newcastle do have. He's a talent man. He'll play for England. This lad in midfield, he'll go and play for England. There's no doubt about that. Give it the next 18 months, he'll be an England player. Obviously, no Fabian Schär once more for Newcastle tonight, and Bruno Gomes is also suspended. So it'll be interesting to see how that game gets on at 8:00 tonight. So if you want to see more of that, we'll be doing the coverage down at the game tonight. Obviously, I'll be driving down there later on. Trent Alexander-Arnold, more talk on there. Liverpool were flustered with Alan Shearer's column as well. This is it. This is the lad I wanted to talk about. It's interesting, this one, because Cwmbrew Premier Champions League, the new Saints, not TNS. It is TNS, sorry. Same club. Brad Young, who used to be on the books of Aston Villa and went out on loan a few times and came across to the new Saints and was their top scorer in the season just gone. And then obviously scored a couple in the Champions League qualifier. And then obviously they've gone and qualified for the group stage of the Conference League. But the agreed fee to go to Saudi Arabia to join Al Aroba, if I can pronounce that right, who have got a couple of ex-Premier League players in Kurt Zuma's with that club. And so is Goodmanson, who obviously had that famous bust-up with Vincent Kompany at Burnley last season. They've got Christian Tello as well, former Barcelona winger. But obviously he's joined, and they haven't received their transfer fee for little as 190,000, which is a big fee for the inverted commas Welsh club. Because I think technically they're in England, aren't they? But they're playing the Welsh League. But anyways, they haven't got the money, and it doesn't seem, if the Al Araba are being petty over like pennies, because that's what it is to them over this transfer fee. He's only 21 years of age, so they want that money to come through because it's big for them. So yeah, and then of course Jack Grealish, Pep Guardiola's talked about it, that Grealish who has struggled, and obviously he took the mickey out of Miguel Miron, didn't he? Now look at him now. Jack Grealish is struggling for form, struggling to start for Man City. Pep Guardiola has gone on and talk about it, saying that do I want the Jack that won the treble? Yeah, I want it, but I have to try to be honest with myself. For that, you have to fight. You can say it's unfair, okay. If you think that, then that's fine. But you have to prove to me, okay, I'm going to fight with Savinho to deserve the place to play in that position every single day, every single week, and every single month. And obviously, Jack Grealish's form has dropped massively, probably in the last 12 months, the whole calendar year in 2024, to be honest with you. And Celtic are running away in the Scottish Premier League, going 13 points clear as well. So, yeah, and obviously, Ancelotti has defended Vinicius Jr. It's difficult in his shoes, of course. But that was with you because obviously he got sent off against Real Madrid, as Real Madrid beat Valencia 2-1 in the return to La Liga on Friday. But those are some of your news this morning. No doubt there'll be a ton of more news coming later today, and of course I'll be back in the next 48 hours or so with some updates as well. And obviously, as ever with this video on this channel, there's an open link for anybody to join as we grow this channel. This is only the third video live. I've got other plans for it as well, not just to do lives, so some Premier League talk as well. That is it. I've got to get myself ready now because I'm going to get ready and drive to the petrol station. I need my tyres pumped up. Little dog's coming down south of us as well for the game tonight, staying down there for 2 nights. But anyways, I'm rambling. Thanks for watching. Drop us a massive like. That'll be wonderful. Have a great day, everyone.